But we're having an issue with price point. Like, everybody wants things that look super nice and that they're lasered, but they're like, can't you just sell them to me for like $1 a piece? And I'm like, I can't even buy them for that. I've got some stamping blanks that I'm working on, and then if you throw them in a tumbler or whatever, you can smooth them and polish them up, and they're pretty nice, and I think they would be fair around that price range. But people have these crazy expectations.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Laser Source Podcast, the #1 podcast. If you are looking to scale or grow your laser business, you're in the right place. I'm joined today by Gio and Tony. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
And we have a very special guest with us today, Wendy Phillips, right? Wendy Phillips?
Yeah.
Coming to us from Indiana, and she's just going to share some of her experience with us. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about how you're using your laser. First of all, how long have you had it? Are you like brand new at this, or have you been burning for a while?
I think we've had it going on 2 years, 1 year now, and I probably got going with it about 6 months ago.
Nice. Do you just have a fiber, or do you have a CO2 also?
Nope, just have a fiber. It's my father's, and I'm just kind of helping him. And we work together as a team, kind of trying to figure it out.
Nice.
And so he's the technical side. I'm kind of the user side.
That's very, very cool. Do you feel like you are getting the hang of it?
Yeah. We were pretty lost, and it was to the point that, we were just, I was just like, I can't believe we got involved with this. I'm over it. I'm ready to just sell it and move on. But, we just had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
We got our machine from the manufacturer, so it comes straight from the manufacturer, no middleman. The reason why my father chose it is because it had a 5-year warranty on it, and the price did include the customs, shipping and everything. So it was a pretty good deal, and they did try to give us good support, but there was kind of a language barrier there.
Yeah.
The manual that came with it was broken English and very hard to understand. And then I think we just went into information overload with the internet.
Yeah.
And, we had to kind of realize that and then go back to one source. And that's when my dad found Laser Everything, and he said, check this guy out. So we started watching videos, and I was able to get things done a little bit easier. But Facebook was a nightmare. Like, everybody thinks they know, and they don't.
Definitely.
And, the first thing you need to learn is that every system, every laser has different parameters, and there's no set number or magic set of numbers that you can duplicate from machine to machine. You do have to just work it out. You got to burn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And
we explain that to a lot of people that download the parameter library are like, well, they're not working. And I'm like, it gets you like 80% of the way there, over at the Laser Master Academy. But that last 20%, like, you've got to walk that last mile yourself. Every machine is different. It takes work. You have to put some work in to get results for sure.
To a gentleman that bought like a Glowforge, right? And he does custom leather work. He makes like holsters and knife sheaths and wallets and things. And he's just like, I just plugged mine in and just threw everything in there, and it's like easy. And I'm like, well, that's because it's not a fiber. Like, it's a whole different beast. But my guys that you saw earlier, my dad, my husband, and my son, are all into guns, 3-gunners, and things like that. Build a lot of their own stuff. So this is just kind of part of it, right?
Right.
Marking mags and maybe doing some work. So that was their goal. So I'm just along for the ride.
Sure.
Like, I just do whatever I can. And in the beginning, we didn't know what we couldn't do. So my husband and I were marking on like rocks, leather, everything. I mean, and you're not even supposed to be able to do leather with fiber, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
We did it.
I mean, we have an episode on the channel about how to mark leather with a fiber laser. The fiber lasers are cool because you can take advantage of them and kind of bend the rules on a lot of stuff. It's not what the machine was designed for, which I like to say a lot. I say that out loud pretty often. That's not what the machine is designed for, but you can certainly get like usable results if you just spend the time experimenting, which it sounds like you have.
Yeah, but it's pretty interesting, the dynamic here, because so I'm one of those people that I just find a workaround, right? If I want to get something done, because my goal is, the end result I want. And my dad's like precision and everything. He's like more geo. He like wants to know why everything works and it has to line up. And I'm just like, just arrow that laser and just burn it, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we got to get it jigged and we got to. So it's funny. Like, we all have to have allotted times with the laser because we all do things differently. And we're about ready to feel like we need another one. So that person can do their thing over there.
That's really cool, though, like to have that at your disposal, because like that's kind of how we get in the staff channels on the Discord, because we all do things very differently, and having that kind of like cooperative effort with people looking at things from different angles and wanting to tackle problems different ways is a huge benefit. And to have all of those different like personalities and angles of attack like within your own household, that's got to be like a huge asset for you guys, for sure.
Right. So it's just, trying to find the time. I don't know how you guys do it. Like, you guys have full-time jobs. I mean, I know what your situation is, Alex. Congratulations.
Thanks.
On being able to like just do this all the time. But I actually have 2 other businesses.
Wow.
So I'm in a business admin, my husband's trucking company, and then I have my own business. And then, of course, I'm kind of entrepreneurial. So anything I do spend time at, I need a return on investment. And my investment is time. So everything I burn, I try and make it where it is marketable.
Yeah.
My dad is retired.
Yep.
So he just has all day to like hang out and do laser stuff.
Totally. Yeah. You gotta, I mean, there's a lot of people, and I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but there's a lot of people that are just like, I just want to do this as a hobby and it's fun for me and I enjoy it. And that is totally fine. But if you want to generate revenue, you like have to go into it with that mindset. Like, everything you do has to produce a return. It's really important, especially in this business, because if you're undercharging or not charging at all, which a surprising number of people do, it's very difficult to make the money back on the machine, let alone a profit. So it definitely sounds like you're on the right track there for sure. I'm really curious, because most people like start with like a diode laser or a CO2 laser and then kind of like move on and get into the fiber world. You just like, boom, fiber, like right out of the gate. What like informed that purchasing? Did you know that it did metal and you knew you needed it for firearms, and that was just like, it was just a linear path to you, or like what kind of went on there?
It's my father's unit. So he did a lot of research, and that's what he essentially wanted to do with it. So he's the one that researched and did the purchasing. And then, there's a learning curve with everything. So, I didn't know how hard the fiber was compared to everything else before. So it was just all the same. It was going to be a learning curve no matter what. I think you just have to be patient with it. But the decision, he said, that led him to the fiber was the guns.
Right, sure. And is that primarily what you find yourself marking with the machine, like to this day, is like firearm centric stuff?
Well, I of course, jumped in, and my daughter wanted to do some, what do I call them, little festivals, do the tent pop-up thing where you go to craft shows. And I didn't want her going by herself, so I was just like, hey, I'll just order a bunch of stuff from JDS that I think will sell nicely. And I just burnt a nice little, variety of things. And then the summer, we went to little pop-up shows and things. The guys really want me. My dad's a retired fireman, so he wants to do some axes, of course. Lately, we've been kind of dabbling with coins, trying to figure out coins. So we're just all over the board. He has projects he wants to do, and I want to find that niche that I can get return on my investment.
Right.
So it's hard. It's hard.
Wendy, what's the machine in question? What is it? I don't know if it was mentioned before I got here, but what do you know? What is the machine that we're talking about?
We bought from Siemens. It's a 50-watt fiber. A Racus.
Racus. Okay. Yeah, but it sounds like you guys might be reaching that point where you might benefit from like another 30-watt, maybe just to get you around if you don't want to, pony out more money for another 50 watts. So if you ever need help with coins, I'm that guy. If you give you any pointers, but coins, I love doing coins. And I actually found, I was like you sort of when I started with a fiber, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I think at some point I was looking at firearms and all that good stuff. And then I just honed in on coins. And ever since then, I do coins and a lot of EDC stuff, what they call, like a lot of things people put in their pockets. I like doing stuff like that. It's very fun. So if you ever need help in that aspect, I'm here.
I don't know. I've got this scheme. I don't know how weird you guys want this podcast to get.
Weird. We like it weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have this scheme where I'm trying to bring coins back in this area. So I was contacted by doing those festivals over the summer by the local K9 unit. So they want to do our county's police dogs on one side and then the county's logo on the other. So I've been trying to work out some details with them. He said to me he had some made, but he didn't like them because they looked like poker chips, and he wanted some out of metal. And so I was trying to find a happy medium where they could pass these out to the community and kind of bring awareness. And then that in turn gets donations to help them keep the canine program going in our county. But we're having an issue with price point. Like everybody wants things that look super nice and that they're lasered, but they're like, can't you just sell them to me for like $1 a piece? And I'm like, I can't even buy them for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah. So we're trying to find the need and service it. But the problem is just, I don't know if it's because we live so close to a major city, or like Alex said, it's Amazon, but I've got some stamping blanks that I'm working on. And then if you throw them in a tumbler or whatever, you can smooth them and polish them up. And they're pretty nice. And I think they would be fair around that price range. But, people have these crazy expectations, like my dad has an actual challenge coin from when he retired from the fire department. And it is enameled and the whole 9 yards. And I don't know where the disconnect is from something that fancy to what they really want to pay for.
Right.
So that's the challenge.
A little bit of insight on coins, since I seem to sell quite a bit. I started importing coins whenever I can. So I've really honed into the 40 millimeter by 3, brass, copper, and copper nickel, or copper nickel, whatever they call that. Pricing, for some reason, it's all very, very subjective, I guess. Are you doing the artwork? I honestly do not. My coins start at 27. It doesn't matter how big, how small. One-sided, it's 27, because I do a lot more stuff for the finishing. I sandblast most of my finishes. People seem to like that. Another something that I'm also experimenting with is if you deep etch, you can. I've been testing with epoxy, so backfilling instead of using some enamel paints. I've been testing with epoxy, and I'm having some pretty good success. Like, people are really liking that. So depending on what the requirements are for that, for that canine coin, you can come up with some neat things and maybe bring the cost down. I mean, it all depends on how deep you're going, what the finishes are, and stuff like that. So under a buck, there's
a lot of variables, but I mean, like, yeah. I think another option to going down the road might be that it's time to investigate some new wavelengths. There might be a CO2 in your future, because with a CO2, you can get like some really nice hardwoods from like, we use Ukuch, which is great. And they have like really, really nice sheets of hardwoods for like $24. You can get like a solid piece of walnut, and you can throw that in something like a gantry CO2 and cut 50 coins and walk away from it, and you come back and you've got 50 coins cut and ready to go. And your price points can be way lower on that. It's not metal, but like it's another option for people, and organics are kind of off the board for you right now. So that might be another way to handle like a situation like that too. I always find that like I make more sales when I offer people as many options as humanly possible. And I put the ball in their court and let them pick, don't get me wrong. Fiber coins are really, really nice, but you have to find somebody with deep pockets, and it's especially difficult with something like the sheriff's office, right? Because it's publicly funded. Like their budget is what it is. So there's not a lot of wiggle room there. Whereas like if you're working with, like, I know Tony has some great corporate clients, and they just throw money up in the air. It doesn't matter to them. So maybe time for CO2. Do you have any hopes of like expanding your wavelength reach anytime soon? Is that something that you've considered, or are you like hard line sticking with the fiber?
Well, no. So the man behind the scenes says that he is interested in that, but I am concerned about like a whole cooling unit and all of that. Like, so many cables and wires and ducts and things going on. Like, it's definitely more of like a setup for sure. But I mean, there's alternatives. I mean, the chiller and like cooling and stuff is very ominous, but it's not that bad once you sit down. I'd rather do that than learn the fiber again. If I had a choice, I would much rather like learn CO2. I think I'd learn a CO2 first, actually. The chiller's scary, but it's, once you get it down and you have like proper ventilation, it's easy enough to like cut a thing and you stick it in the window and just vent outside. And I mean, it's a lot for sure, but the power that comes with being able to double the amount of like materials that you can do, I don't know. I would seriously consider it for sure if it was me.
And no, but with the CO2, you also got to. Sorry, I think we're desynced. With CO2, I mean, it is more stuff, and you also can't walk away from it. So just a little hint.
I just said that I don't feel like I can walk away now. Like, I've had some weird stuff where the fibers just kind of. It was Easy Cat. It just kind of went and did its own thing and burnt a hole in a slate coaster. Like, so I really don't feel at this point I could walk away.
Do you know if you have...
Lightburn should fix that.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know if you have EasyCAD 2 or EasyCAD 3?
Cool.
Then you have Lightburn to look forward to, which will be great news for you, for sure.
Cool. So yeah, I don't understand any of that. Am I going to have to change anything on
No.
the control board? Or
Nope.
Just the software.
All you have to do is buy Lightburn, and it's literally gonna just work with your fiber right out of the gate. All of everything that you've taken the time to learn and understand with EasyCAD directly translates to how Lightburn is going to be set up for fiber lasers. So you have that to look forward to as well. It's all speed, power, frequency, different hatch settings, or it's all the same, just in a piece of software that isn't a piece of garbage. So
It's stable.
yeah,
It's going to help me with that, right?
we're here. That's it's going to be.
We're beta testing it.
We are
The three of
beta
us are
testing
beta
it.
testing right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the reason people are so excited about it is because, like I said, like usually people learn on diodes or CO2s, and Lightburn is the go-to software for that. So they're taking a piece of software that most of these people like know and love so much and applying it to something that they hate. So it's definitely going to make your job much easier. It's going to make your workflow a lot faster. And like you said, you're concerned with return. This is going to help your bottom line big time. So you're lucky you have EasyCAD 2, because they still don't know if they're supporting EasyCAD 3 or not yet. But you are definitely going to have access to this. So that'll be a really, really big deal for you.
On that. Have you heard
Sorry?
the price point and timeline on
sure. Yeah. Timeline sometime in 2022. They aren't exactly sure yet. They're still ironing some things out. And the closest we know about price, what's the DSP now, guys? Like 120? 120. So
120.
probably somewhere around 120. So really not bad. It's pennies compared to the cost of the machine for sure.
that? $120?
Yep.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Sure. To make the EasyCAD headache go away?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Wendy, you got to think it's either that or pay $1,600 to go EasyCAD 3, which I was like a week away to do. I was literally a week away.
Yeah. Because when
Just to get out of the easy. Yeah.
you asked when we brought up Lightburn, you asked if you had to swap out like your controllers or anything. If you want to upgrade from EasyCAD 2 to EasyCAD 3, which is marginally better, you do have to switch out your controller and you have to rewire a bunch of stuff. And it's a gigantic, horrible nightmare. And Tony was just about to pull the trigger on it and spend $1,600 on an EasyCAD 3 card like a week before they made the announcement. It's definitely something to be excited about and look forward to. If you haven't already seen it, and this goes out to you guys out there listening to this as well, we did post like a sneak peek live stream on the channel where we like ran a couple jobs on the fiber laser with Lightburn, so you can like see how it looks and works and stuff. And it's very, very easy. So if you haven't already seen that, once you watch it, I think you'll be very, very excited about it because it's really going to help out. Have you experimented with like different lenses for your fiber laser at all yet, or do you just have the one that came with it from the manufacturer?
No, we actually have the 110 that came with, and then for the coins, I go down to the 70. And then when I was doing some of the aluminum JDS cake pan leads, I don't know if you guys are familiar with those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A 420.
Oh, it'll be
Oh, man.
300 millimeter. Yeah.
300?
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay,
it's
yeah.
420, but it's a 300.
Yep.
So 300, 110, and a 70.
Nice. That's
You got a
awesome.
good range for 50 watt. That's perfect.
That's a great range. I still have not. I have the 60 watt M7, and I don't have anything bigger than 200 because I'm just using the 30 watt laser lenses with it. So I'm excited to be able to bring the 300 millimeter in and like try it on a machine that it will actually do something with. Is the 300 millimeter lens giving you good performance at 50 watts?
Yeah. I mean, I do pretty good with it.
Do you have a favorite out of all of those? Like if you had to like give up all your lenses and just keep one?
Gosh, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I've worked a little bit with the big one, the 300, just to do those lids. I did like, 5 or 6 of them. and then some of those acacia and slate cutting boards that they sell. They came out pretty nice. I mean, it was really simple. I didn't have any problem once I found my focus.
Yeah.
I would say burning through the coating, the paint coating on the lids took a little bit. Just, I think, would be kind of similar to like doing tumblers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
I have played with all the lenses. Probably the 110 the most, but the 70 I like because it just gets shit done. I mean, we're right there. We can burn through all kinds of stuff. So I'm kind of to the point. So I guess that would probably be my favorite.
That's awesome.
I need to kind of get some courage up and get going with that rotor, though. That is one piece of equipment that has come with it that we haven't really messed a whole lot with.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we were kind of lost, and I did get lessons where a gentleman remoted in, and we did a video Zoom call, and he went over things with me, and he checked my system, and he calibrated a lot of stuff and explained that to me as we went along. Some of which soaked in, some didn't. I have to go back to Laser Master Academy or the Laser Everything videos to kind of put the pieces together on my own. We had some issues going on. I had some wires actually inside the machine that had come loose for whatever reason. So the problems that I was having wasn't really helping me as a beginner because things just weren't working like they were supposed to.
Right.
And then you get all confused and you get analysis paralysis and then you don't know where you are. So that was money well spent. And I mean, he was excellent and he took his time and was very easy to understand. So we did have to have some lessons in the beginning to kind of get over that. But then when we found the wire that was loose, you know, my husband's like super good at fixing things. He's a fabricator.
Yep.
So he just came in and soldered the wire back on, and then we got everything set up. And from then, it's gotten easier. And then, like I said, along with finding this group, I feel like I'm definitely moving forward in a more positive way. And I definitely think we're going to be able to get some stuff done this year that we were kind of on the struggle bus with last year.
Was the wire issue preventing you from using your machine at all, or was it preventing you from using the rotary?
I think it was more a rotor issue. But, you know, like I said, my father likes things to work like they're supposed to work. So when we got it, he had to go through everything. And just not knowing, like, you get lost. Like, EasyCAD has a lot of plugins that don't necessarily apply because they were too lazy to take it out of the software. Yep. So as a new person, you're thinking all of these different things under the laser how to do stuff. And really, there's split mark and mark. Right. Yeah, there's split mark is decent. Rotary mark does most of the things that split mark will do for you. And then there's the text mark is okay if you're doing like very specifically rings. Like text mark can be pretty useful, and then project. But that's it, and that's 4 out of like a dozen that come with most manufacturer copies of EasyCAD. And like you said, most of them are worthless and do nothing, or are old versions of the plugin files. Another issue that will likely be quickly remedied with Lightburn. But yeah, the rotary's not that bad when you get to sitting down to play with it. We have a really, really great rotary setup guide. If you need a refresher course, it's one of the free videos on the channel that kind of walks you through step by step to make sure things are set up the way that they need to be. And it gets most people up and running. It's got quirks. Rotary in general has quirks, whether you're on CO2 or UV or fiber or anything else. The diode lasers, rotary takes
something that should be very, very simple and overcomplicates it just inherently. So
it doesn't help that they all use different stepper motors with different step counts and different amperages, and it's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess for sure, but it's not that bad. And like I said, you've got the group at your back, the winds at your back on that too. So I'm sure you're going to do awesome stuff. And I'm glad that you're excited. I am jealous that you love your 70 so much, because the only time that I've actually plugged it into my machine was to find the focal distance. And then I never put it back in again. And I actually got a 50 millimeter lens not too long ago. And that thing just straight up scared the shit out of me. I couldn't believe it. Have any of you guys ever used a 50 millimeter lens before?
I used my 70 once.
It's frightening. It's legitimately frightening. Like, there's just like so much power. Like, and even with like the good no IR like goggles on it, like I just was like, I'm gonna burn my eyes out of the back of my head. Like, it is a lot. So I want to spend some more time with smaller lenses. I haven't touched Tony sent me a pile of those little coins, the coin blanks too. And I haven't touched those at all either. You guys are talking about stuff that I've been wanting to do forever, and I just haven't even started to mess around with it yet. I know there's a lot to do, but that's really exciting. And I'm glad you're sounding so much more positive about like the direction things are going to.
Tony using all the time.
Repeat that one more time, Wendy.
What's your favorite lens? What do you use the most?
So it depends. If I'm doing a single batch coin, I'll use the 70 just to get, because when I do coins, I'm really not worried about the final finish. I know there's people that when they laser a coin, they want to hit it really smooth and then just inch it. Not me. I just want to dig and just get it done, because I refinish all my coins. So it's either going to get blasted or polished. So I'm not concerned with if I get slag or any like ugly stuff. I don't brush them or nothing. So if I want to get to where I need to go, 70. If I'm doing about 3 to 4 pieces, I'll jump up to the 175. So if I know that someone ordered 12 coins, I'll do 4 at a time. I'll go to the 175. Takes a little longer, but I can do 4 at the same time. Better than the 110. The 110, you're kind of squeezing it. So I don't want to hit the edges too shallow. So 175, but my 110 is probably my favorite out of all the lenses. 70 and 110, I don't know which one's my favorite, but I believe is probably going to be the 110 for me at least.
The 110 is my favorite too. It just does everything. It just does everything like really, really well. It's a really good balance between size and power. 4 inches ends up being like a decent amount of space for most things. Gio, what do you, because you have your weak sauce 30. What do you find yourself playing with the most often?
So I ordered a 70. I ordered a 112 and a 110 by mistake, and then I have my 175, and 175 came in the machine, and that's the only one I have dialed in perfect. So I use my 175. That's completely underpowered for my machine.
One file takes 2 minutes to do.
I know.
Yeah, you got.
Normally, when I go to play with it, I got a small amount of time to do it while the kids are asleep, or whether before I have to go make dinner or something. So I do what's set up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't. My kids are grown, and I don't cook anymore.
You have a little more time.
I'm jealous.
But
how so you mentioned that you're doing like the like craft fair kind of like thing, and like you're like actually like setting up tables, and you've got stuff that you've marked and you're selling it just marked already. Where are you on like the e-commerce spectrum? Is there no interest at all, or is it something that you want to look at down the road?
So I have a website. I've got my domain name and everything.
Nice.
I've been struggling with getting the pictures taken, and I've finally just given up, and they're going to be what they're going to be. And so I get that thing published.
Right.
But I do recall a podcast you did with a gentleman where he was. It was slick. Everything he had is it from Canada?
Alex Campbell from Etchified. Everybody loves Alex's website. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't visited it yet. I forgot to jot down, what it was, but he was talking about plugins where they can kind of design their own stuff.
Oh, Zakiki.
Yep, Zakiki.
And I tried to find that, and I don't know if it's compatible with Wix or if I can.
I think it's a Shopify plugin, right?
No, I went through that issue. You're not going to get it on Wix because it can't. It works with Shopify and WooCommerce. That's the reason why I paid for Wix for nothing. And to find out at the end of the day, it won't work.
And now I can't do knives. I can't, and because it's considered a weapon. So they had a whole bunch of rules. So I just don't know if I'm going to go any farther with it. I might cancel it and try and find something a little bit more that doesn't mind having those type of things.
Shopify is expensive, but much more liberal in what it allows you to sell without giving you the smackdown. And it has a lot of very awesome matured plugins that have been around for a very, very long time, Zakiki included, that have just been like really, really well refined at this point. Even the Laser Everything website's still on Wix. I'm not preaching from a high pedestal up here. I haven't done any work to upgrade that myself, but it's just better in pretty much every way. Wix is great for like getting your wings spread and standing up and saying, I'm on the internet. But like after you accomplish that, there's better places to migrate to. So you might as well just keep your Wix website for a little while you're working on like the Shopify in the background, if you can afford that. And then, build out like some of those better tools and start learning how to use some of those plugins. Cause you're absolutely right. The stuff that Alex Campbell showed off on his interview episode was just kind of melts your brain a little bit when you realize those tools are out there for you.
Yeah. My neighbor had the same issue with, he does plasma cutting. Well, now laser cutting. He bought a laser, but he did a design with garden gnomes that were holding firearms, and he got booted from that listing got booted for him. So he ended up switching over to Shopify.
Yep.
The thing I've been trying to do little things to kind of get up and going, because I also listen to the podcast. I hate to keep saying this, but I listen to, like I said, 5 days a week, at least an hour a day, just to kind of stay up and learn and get going. Where you guys were talking about growing, trying to grow your business. So I kind of got myself in a little bit of a jam because I didn't even think about the time frame that it was. Late November, decided to do my free Google listing.
Google My Business, right?
Google My Business, yeah. And wow, that kind of took off. And then I had like a vacation kind of at the first couple weeks of December, and it was a potential shit show, but we kind of handled it.
So wait,
I really wasn't in it.
Let's rewind for a second. So you're. I don't know. Maybe we should save this for a bonus episode. Now I have some juicy questions. We're just about at 40 minutes. I think I'm going to draw the line. Wendy, did you want to hang out with us for a bonus episode of the podcast today?
Do anything.
Okay, great. So then I'm going to leave you guys on that cliffhanger. If you want to hear my juicy questions for Wendy about Google My Business and the potential shit show, for which I have many, go sign up for the Laser Master Academy. You're a member over there, Wendy?
Everybody should be.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Thank you. So Wendy's a member, so you should be too. Go sign up for the Laser Master Academy. It's an awesome way to support the channel. That's its primary function. You do get some bonus goodies. There's hundreds of hours of bonus live streams on there where we're just working through jobs, normal day-to-day stuff in the office. We're going to be recording some new ones soon. We've got bonus episodes of the podcast. So if you like listening to the podcast like Wendy does, and you want to hear what else she has to say, go sign up for that because that's going to be really, really good. And you get instant access to our fiber laser and CO2 laser parameter libraries. We're adding CO2 and CO2 galvos soon. Like we mentioned, it doesn't get you 100% of the way there, but it does 80% of the work for you. And that's a huge booster when you're just getting started. And like I said, it helps to support the channel. So if you like what we're doing, go sign up over there. It's masters.lasereverything.net. Tony, Gio, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate having you guys on as usual. And special thank you to our awesome guest, Wendy. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing some of your insight with us. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to talk more about what you've got going on business-wise in the bonus episode. So that's all I've got, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Wendy. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Later.